All right, guys. So right now I'm going to take you through a day in the life. Unfortunately, I didn't shoot a lot of me talking while I was filming this, just because this is my busiest day of the week. I wanted to show you some maybe non-bodybuilding content before I got on with my prep stuff. It's kind of what I do in my day, still maintaining the same habits as a bodybuilder. Like right now I'm doing my daily check-in, or at least my daily weigh-in and my weekly check-in. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I do outside of bodybuilding, because I'm sure you've seen some of that, and you'll see a lot of that going throughout my prep. Right now, obviously woke up, brushed my teeth, and I checked my blood pressure. Now I'm checking my blood glucose. These are just some markers that I check throughout the week to make sure that I'm healthy as an enhanced bodybuilder. I keep a spreadsheet of all of these things, and I track them week to week and watch the trend line. Same with calipers, not really concerned about the body fat measurement that I get, just which way it's trending. Here I am getting my waist circumference. I am in my maintenance phase right now, holding a little bit of body fat from my mass gaining phase and about to transition into a cut. So I collected all that data. It is in my spreadsheet that I will check later in the day. Start the day with some coffee, 100 milligrams of caffeine. That's why I'm weighing it. Some milk, and I use a salted caramel sweetener. And I'm also listening to a podcast right now. This is the Iron Culture podcast. Just like to listen to something while I'm doing my morning routine. Just kind of get the day started right. This is just a salted caramel sweetener. And then I also take my supplements with my first meal, or just at least with my coffee. Usually I have a muffin with this meal too, or half a muffin. This is just something I've been doing throughout the off season. Here I just put telmisartan down on the scale there. Also some krill oil, magnesium, and vitamin E, and Silicon focus supplement. Telmisartan is an ARB, helps with blood pressure. I'm using it because it attenuates a lot of the negative downstream effects of anabolics. And here I'm taking my dogs out. The brown one is Luca. He is a Dash Hound Corgi mix, and the chunky one is Navi. She is a Cocker Spaniel and Dash Hound mix. They are both adorable, and I love them to death. So I take them out, they get really excited in the morning, and then I come in and do my weekly check-in posing. I have a ring light set up. The camera's about 6 feet away from me. I'm trying to keep the conditions steady throughout prep. And this will also go into my spreadsheet for later. Maintain a pretty normal eating schedule. This is my post-workout usually. I know it makes me tired due to postprandial and somnolence, which is just essentially when you eat a large bolus of food, you get tired after. It's kind of the fact of the matter. So I try to eat this first, just so that if I generally crash midday, so I'm not wanting to eat a large bolus of food then. Keep my food fairly consistent. And then when I am sitting down to eat, I am checking my daily to-do list, adding to it, making sure that I can accomplish everything. I may even adjust my weekly to-do since it is Sunday, make sure that I have everything written out that I need to do for the week. Major factor in how productive I have been able to be is having a to-do list. One of the best things that I've done is having a to-do list and checking those things off, making sure that they are ready for the day, so that I can always reference them when I am busy and don't know what to do. So here I'm at my workstation. This is a standing desk I sometimes sit at. This app is called Forest. This is a productivity app. If you leave the app, you kill a tree. If you maintain your productivity throughout that entire 90 minutes, then you grow a tree. Here you have my workstation. So this is the app I use, Trainerize. First thing I do is when a client messages me, basically they send their check-ins on Sunday. I go through their check-in. On the iPad that is to the right of me, I write down any notes that I have about their check-in, and anything that I need to make sure that I adjust or communicate with them about. And then I also have a calculator on that. And then here I'm checking their bodyweight stats. It's the first thing I usually do when I go into their profile. Make sure that they are on the target rate of gain or rate of loss for the phase. Make sure everything's on target, and if I need to make any adjustments to their diet. Generally, we'll also look over their check-in photos as well and make sure their body composition is shifting in the direction we want it to for that phase. On the computer to the left of me, I have my client checklist. That is just essentially making sure that I check in with all my clients, so I don't have anybody get missed. Obviously, I don't make adjustments unless they check in with me, but I just want to make sure that I've communicated with everybody and everybody's accounted for. This is basically I go into their progress for the week, and they communicate to me like, hey, this lift was too heavy, or this lift went well, blah, blah, blah. I use that to also instruct my programming for them. So lots of data points, lots of communication is essentially what I feel builds a successful program for a client. Right now I'm taking a break. I worked for 90 minutes. 90 minutes is about the amount of time people can maintain a good amount of attention when working on effortful tasks. So I don't try to push it, especially with working with client updates and things like this. This can be actually very effortful, and you can miss details if you start to get tired and your attention starts to wane. You're working on an effortful task, your attention wants to shift from a have to activity to a want to activity. This is the system 1, system 2 thinking that is laid out in the science of self-control and principles that I use to build my daily routines. So I try to take this break, this 30-minute nap that you saw me take, which is essentially acting as a work deload. And what you see here is basically on the left, I have the client's progressions from the last couple of weeks, including the last week, the previous week, and I am making set, load, and rep additions on the middle screen for their next week of upcoming training. They have access to this via an app on their phone, so they just go in and their progressions are built in for them, and all they have to do is just execute the workout. I may communicate anything to them at the top, like, hey, check your cadence. They also send me technique videos, and I will incorporate that into my weekly adjustment to make sure that they are doing everything correctly, and that I communicate to them via this spreadsheet. All right, I actually worked for a little bit longer than 90 minutes there, but I knew that work was coming up and I was getting really busy cutting up some veggies, and this is all going in the air fryer. Then I had some ground beef and rice that was already prepped in the fridge, and I'm kind of rushing because I'm late for work. I don't use beard butter. This is a leave-in conditioner that I put in my hair. Way cheaper and does the same job. My beard comes out pretty good. Second coffee of the day, another 100 milligrams of caffeine and 50 grams of milk, weighed out on the scale. And then I take this ground beef rice mixture that I had in the microwave, heated it up, some chicken stock and some cheese, added some salt to it to weigh out my salt. I salt everything after I've cooked it, just so I can keep that constant. And then my potatoes and peppers go in there as well. And you get this big mash. It's called the Monster Mash. I got it when I worked with Stan Efferding. I put cheese in there because calcium actually will attenuate some of the iron absorption. So I am eating a lot of red meat. Iron can be one of the issues I run into, which can raise your hematocrit levels. So I just try to have some calcium with my red meat meals to attenuate some of that, and I take IP6 at night, and alongside the telmisartan that keeps my hematocrit in range, or slightly out of the reference range, but enough for performance benefit. So pretty much it. Got ready for work really fast. Like, I usually start getting ready for work an hour before. I am a waiter on the weekends. Actually, at the time of shooting this, I was. Now I've gotten busy enough with coaching to where probably won't be doing that anymore, but we will see. But basically why this day is so busy is partially because I work until I go to work, and it's kind of crazy, but you know what? I love the work I do in the morning.
Definitely check out our protein episode.
All right, and I'm back from work here. So basically last meal of the day, 4 eggs, egg whites. You didn't see maybe one of the meals, but they're all pretty much the same. 100 grams of carbohydrates and 6 ounces of lean meat protein source. And this is just to get some nutrition in from the eggs, biotin, choline, all the good stuff, essentially referred to as nature's multivitamin. So I try to eat enough of those throughout the day. Also took these frozen berries, put them in the microwave for 30 seconds, and I make this, I'd split it to them, I make this kind of jam with them. But it's a little bit better because it has some fiber. It is really tasty. I put some of that on the sourdough, and I just cook the eggs with spinach and salt. And then I am watching Iron Culture, a different episode. I guess it was just on my mind this day. So I was just watching this particular podcast. I do like their podcast a lot. And here I'm just finishing up some work for the day. It's probably about 11 o'clock here. And I have a 8 or 7:30 client in the morning, so I need to get to bed soon. I did my adjustment, my dietary adjustments, and made sure my to-do list was set for the next day. And the dogs go out for a walk right before I go to bed. All right, well, that concludes a pretty brief day in the life. I just wanted to shoot this one and kind of show you guys like some insight into what a day of like not bodybuilding looks like. Although bodybuilding is always with me, something that I'm always doing, there are other things that I do throughout my day and week, and there's other habits that I have formed around work that have allowed me to be more productive. These are habits that carry throughout the week and I continue to follow, such as using the app, taking breaks, making sure that my work environment is not distracting and is not full of distractions, and a bunch of other stuff. But just wanted to show you a quick rundown of like what the coaching process looks like for me really briefly. I will be showing you more of the contest prep stuff and less brief videos in the future. So stay tuned if you are interested in that, and I'll catch you guys next time.